One of the craziest things that I've ever experienced with the supernatural. This was like a random night. I was sleeping. I woke up and it was like 3 or 4 in the morning. And it wasn't like an instantly I woke up. It was just this smell, this sulfur smell. And it wasn't like vague, it was like there. It was just strong. So I wake up and I'm laying on my side and I'm looking at my bedroom wall. And I just feel this thing here. And I'm just too scared to even turn my head. Like, what the fuck is this? I bring my covers over. I say a little prayer. About 5 minutes in, I pass out. And so a couple weeks go by and, nothing happens. But then I had this like odd dream of this black thing. I think it's just like a shadow. Was trying to grab onto me. And so in the dream, he had been trying to get me for a while, and there's a point where I turn around and he kind of lunges at me. And so when he's lunging in the dream, I wake up and it's this shadow man just lunging over me. And so I kick my covers up and I start swinging. As soon as the covers settle, there's nothing. So at that point I'm like, what the hell? Like, first it was that night where this thing was looking at me and it smelled like sulfur. Now it's this shadow man. A couple weeks go by, thinking too much of it, there was nothing. But then on this last night, man, this is where things kind of really like scare me. So there's this dream. I'm freaking out because I'm like, fuck, there's this thing inside me. There's this like demon and I need to get this thing out of here. So in the dream I go to my mom and I'm like, hey mom, like there's this fucking thing in me and I need to get this thing out. She's kind of like, you need to go to this priest. And the priest, I had known of this priest since I was a kid, but he wasn't like a priest that I would go to on Sunday mass. He wasn't the priest at my parish. I knew of him, but I didn't personally know. And so I thought that was odd. Out of all the dudes, he's the guy you want me to go to? He's like, yeah, like he's the one, he can help you. I'm driving up, pull over, and I'm like, hey, brother, like I need you to help me because there's this thing here. And like I need you to get this thing out, save me. And he looks at me and he's like, looks me up and down and he kind of just pauses and he just is like, it's too late for you. And like my heart sinks. And at that moment in the dream, my heart sinks, but I wake up with that same feeling of like helplessness. Like, how? I run down, I'm like, mom, like this is what happened. Just a couple prayers. And I was like, all right, I'm cool. I go to bed. Now, maybe a couple months, maybe a year later, me and my buddy were hanging out and he's like, yo, did you hear about priest? And I was like, no, what happened? He's like, well, this little girl saw these demons tearing apart the altar at this church. Like, are you serious? And he's like, yeah, man, like this priest that went to go help this girl was the same priest that was in my dream that denied the exorcism. I was like, you've got to be shitting, dude. You won't believe me. But I had a dream where I was possessed and I went to go seek him out, specifically him. And he said it was too late for me. I guess whatever was there messed him up psychologically. He had to go get help. It was one of the craziest experiences I've had where what went on in the dream directly translated to real life.